Would you be interested in learning one of the most widely misunderstanding secrets about what makes women go wild? Abs aren't the issue though. The car isn't the problem. The problem isn't even with the smooth delivery. You can only go so far. Definitely boundaries that are unwavering, permanent, and not sorry for. Incidentally, this is the reality. Almost no man ever learns anything new. Boundaries do the reverse of what you may expect. They attract women. But I'm not talking about games, where you have to act like an alpha or manipulate other players. When I say real male limits, I mean just that. On today's video, I'll be dissecting 6 specific limitations that trigger subliminal desire in women. These limitations stem from a man's profound unshakable goal setting and perfect self-awareness. Instead of being pushed, these limits are activated only by being physically present. Here, power is not being sought. Such are the steps toward elucidation. Furthermore, she undergoes an inward transformation when you grasp them. She knows about it. She places a high value on it. To it, she replies. 6th boundary not only protects your authority, but also, astonishingly, changes her perception of herself in your presence. You should stay for this reason, particularly for boundary number 6. Alright, then, I will begin. First, there is the advantage that is unavailable. This is the border. This time is totally up to you. As a first step, that is the strongest defense you can put up. It seems like this one isn't safe at first. You haven't replied to her SMS message yet. You shouldn't drop everything and run when she calls. You don't just rearrange your entire schedule to be accessible to her whenever she wants you to be. Concerns such, wait, won't she lose interest? What is she going to think? And I don't care keep popping into your head. Could it be that she finds someone else who's more accommodating? Actually, the exact opposite occurs. If you aren't physically there at all times, your nonverbal cues will enough to convey your meaning. Investing my time is worthwhile. My life is already jam-packed. Things are going in the right way, with momentum, from here on out. Its allure stems from the fact that it broadcasts a constant availability, which in turn evokes a subtle tension. A little amount of uncertainty regarding her place in your cosmos, and an air of mystery. Other than that, I am not involved in anything else. Scarcity gives rise to value. This is nothing new. Furthermore, a man becomes irresistible when he is rare. Instead of running after her, you're luring her in by creating space for yourself. Have you ever been forthcoming with her, and then seen how her interest in you waned? Put guilty in the comments if this has ever crossed your mind. Making this one change might revolutionize your interactions with possible romantic partners. Second, you are not required to provide an apology. Use the word no without shame. It only takes one border to change everything. The majority of men miss the psychological twist, which I will explain. Refusing an offer in a polite way is more significant than accepting them often. Give this some thought. She invites you to an event that won't work with your busy schedule or energy level. Your gut tells you not to disappoint her, even when you're tempted to say no. So you say, "I'm really sorry. It's just this one object. I might be able to move it, but I'll try anyway. I promise you." You have explained it too much. This is a retreat. The truth that you tell is tempered to the point that it hardly sounds like a boundary anymore, and she is aware of it. Let's now contrast it with this. "I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make it. But I really hope that everything goes well. We should get together later on this week." Kind, unambiguous, and self-assured. That is indeed appealing. You kept your composure. Not once did you express regret for being alive. Your request for authorization was not made. You just took control of your time. When a man is able to say no without feeling guilty, he is not only protecting his schedule, the fact that he has faith in himself is communicated. And in a society where there are a lot of males striving to make everyone happy, what kind of self-rust is that? Having a magnetic consistency. Finally, the final boundary is the respect reflex. In a calm manner, call out any subtle disrespect. The majority of males believe that disrespect is loud. However, here is the reality. In most cases, it is muttered. When you least expect it, it sneaks up on you. when you are making a sarcastic remark about your employment, you should try to roll your eyes. In front of one's friends, a statement that is contemptuous, a remark that is a little bit too profound to be funny, and the majority of men tend to disregard it. They believe she is only fooling around. It was acceptable to them. This is what they convince themselves. It's not a big deal. However, the fact that you must comprehend is as follows. You will not feel more relaxed if you let such moments pass you by. You become invisible as a result. It is not to the world, but to her, for the reason that she is observing how you respond to disrespect, regardless of whether she is aware of it actively or not. In addition, she will not respect you if you do not respect yourself enough to see that you are doing anything wrong. Now, I'm not suggesting that you yell at her, lecture her, or create a fight with her. You keep your cool. Hey, I don't let people talk to me like that. You remark to her while turning your gaze directly into her eyes. So that's all. Direct, unwavering, and rooted. 1,000 nice letters could never be able to do what that one phrase achieves. It gives rise to polarity. It demonstrates to her that women will not be afraid to approach you if they see that you value yourself enough to express yourself. It gives them confidence and makes them lean in closer. When you hold the frame, it makes them feel more feminine being around you. Have you ever felt a little off when something slips your mind? If so, please leave a comment with the word frame, because those brief moments can change everything. The fourth boundary is the calm test, which leads rather than reacts. Allow me to share with you something that will set you apart from the vast majority of guys in order to determine whether or not she can trust your emotional depth. A woman will first test your emotional center, and the vast majority of males flunk that test within a few minutes. Okay, here is how it works. It is a humorous tease that she tosses in. In a brash or caustic manner, she makes a statement. The only reason she brings up something controversial is to watch what happens. And what do the majority of men do? They lose their cool, become defensive, explain themselves, or even worse, they completely shut off. Are you aware of what that conveys to her? He is easily hurt. There is no one who knows who he is. The intensity is too much for him to take. On the other hand, the man who maintains his equilibrium, the one who hears the jibe, pauses, smirks, and replies something along the lines of, "That's adorable." When you test people, it's always this fast. That man has just altered the trajectory of everything. Simply said, being emotionally detached is not necessary to keep control. Having a firm grasp on reality is vital. Another thing is that women start to relax once they know they can't scare you. She holds you in high esteem. Also, she starts to wonder, at a deeper level, what else he is so certain about. But her interest is piqued even more by that question, that curiosity. This is due to the fact that, while most men are confined to trying to pass her exam, you, the man, are actively crafting a new version of the test. Silence from those in charge is the sixth barrier. Just make a call without offering an explanation. Returning to an unconscious habit of most men, let's do it again. They made it seem worse than it was. They try their best to make things sound nice. In an effort to mitigate a negative reaction, they craft 5-paragraph statements. They talk to themselves non-stop, just so they won't wake her up. However, this is the point of contention. When you go into too much detail to explain something, you end up not clarifying anything at all. This is something you've asked for approval to do. The conviction behind your words is uncertain, even yet they come out as assured. As an example, consider a famous case. It has been a stressful week for me. Things have been rough at work, and I think I just need a break to recharge. If that's okay with you, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make it tonight, the guy says. Again, my deepest apologies. Now, contrast that with the scenario in which I will be unable to attend tonight, but will meet up with you later this week. Could you tell me the difference? One is a man trying to justify his decisions, and the other is taking charge of his own life. The former is effective because it is based on genuine confidence. The latter is effective because it is concise and unconcerned with seeking approval, or trying to soften the facts with emotional airbags. I will now give you my ruling. Less is more. Your presence should be the first thing people notice. In other words, A man who can say exactly what he wants, and then sit quietly and let it sink in, has far more clout than one who is always trying to be understood. The sixth boundary, the mission initial code, has arrived. It changes the course of the game completely. Are you ready? It gives the impression that your words are based on conviction, which catches her attention and earns her respect. She doesn't need your excessive explanation. It will take some time for the realization that she cannot replace him to set in once she joins you on your journey. Because most men, even the most intelligent and ambitious ones, lose themselves the moment a woman enters their lives. They change their goals, their schedules, and their mindsets to make sure she's happy. On the other side, she may enjoy the attention at first, but soon enough, something changes. She starts to think that you care more about her than about your vision, your progress, or your goal. And do you know what happens after that? When the opposite is no longer true, however, the situation becomes intriguing. It's not that women want to be your center of gravity. More accurately, what they really want is to be a part of a dynamic whole. What women really want is to be with a man who is dynamic, who is planning, and who is passionate about something, whether or not she is a part of it. This begs the question, what is your mandate? Exactly what are you building? And do your daily behaviors reflect that? Once you have it, you become the force of gravity, just like she becomes the orbit. The man she dates is different from the one she can't stop thinking about because of the shift. This is due to the fact that women are more likely to feel drawn to men and less likely to feel the need to chase them. When men approach their day with a clear sense of purpose, maintain focus, and act as if they are part of a greater whole. The seventh additional boundary is the rule against fixing. She's furious, so you shouldn't try to mend her sentiments. Instead, simply give her space. Most males, even those who are caring and well-intentioned, unknowingly fall into this trap. You go into problem-solving mode, like a lightning bolt, saying things like, "Just don't worry about it," while she expresses her irritation like a fragile kid. Honestly, it's not a big deal. What you should do, I will tell you. I think you're mulling it over too much. Please attend to this. Her takeaway is that he does not trust my feelings, even though you mean well. The truth is that he is trying to fix me rather than pay attention to how I feel. No man who is emotionally stable would ever try to fix her. It can fit into his life. All eyes are on him. Gently, he inhales. He stays fully present in the moment, without interjecting, fixing, or worrying. The ability to be composed in the face of adversity without panicking, running away, or trying to dictate how a woman should feel is a remarkable quality in a man. The man becomes her linchpin. As it turns out, he is the one she needs, wants, and trusts the most. Reason being, he did not abandon her when she was in the thick of her problems. Not because he solved them, just to make sure the guys in the back remember. I'll say it again. The right words are not necessary for you. You ought to be present in the right way. Eighth, bonus boundary, mystery. Tell the whole story without skipping a beat. Be careful not to spill the beans too soon. Here's something you won't hear much about in dating advice. Women prefer men who don't spill the beans too much. Let's face it, most guys in this day and age overexpose themselves by day. 3. Due to constant messaging, social media antics, and in-depth conversations, they reveal their pain by discussing their income. It's like going through a therapy session, going over every chapter of their history. But here's the result. It solves the mystery and clarifies everything. She finds herself captivated by the mystery, which doesn't necessarily lead to an explanation of masculinity. On a first date, there's no need to give her every page of the book, so she has time to think. Now that she's leaning forward, she can ask questions. This is mostly because she knows that your hesitation isn't out of fear, but rather purpose. She feels a surge of pride whenever you reveal your backstory, and she thinks there must be more to you than meets the eye. The controlled depth and slow reveal have an addicting quality. What you may learn about yourself from your limitations. Every obstacle you face is a sign that you are sending the message. I know who I am. You are not scared to let go of things that don't align with your true self. That kind of masculine vitality is not only striking, but also memorable. Mainly because this is how women feel, even if they don't say it. If he loves himself so much, Maybe I will be better when we're together. The whole thing gets better after that. You stop trying to meet her needs, and instead set a standard for her to meet or surpass. Tell me in the comments which limit has been hardest for you. The question is, which one are you going to start implementing immediately? If you found this video helpful in changing your mindset, subscribe to Dark Psychology and click the bell. That way, you won't miss any insight that could transform your relationship.